Hey all, I just got back from New York about a week or so ago and played some great sessions, had a lot of laughs, but that's why I was unable to do any videos for a while. So hopefully I'll be able to get back in the swing of things here and record a few on a semi-regular basis anyway. This is a tune that I was working on with a student on Skype. It's a great four-part reel called the Farewell to Erin, and it was one that came up in the session, so I thought it's about time to put this down on video. It's one I play with the band that I play with regularly too. So because it's a four-part tune, it's kind of long. I'm not going to break down each section bit by bit, but I'll kind of split each part in half and play that slowly. But I'll start off playing it up tempo with all the ornaments and all that kind of stuff. So, Farewell to Erin. So that's the whole tune. Obviously played kind of up tempo, and I try to throw in some of the variations that I like to do, and we'll kind of cover those at the end. But we'll start off just breaking it down part by part anyway, maybe not each individual section. Starting with the A part here. Now, one tricky thing to this tune is that it goes down below the octave range of the flute. So you kind of compensate by basically playing it up an octave. We kind of stay in the same first octave all the way through. If you're playing an accordion or fiddle, you'd have more range, so they drop it down. So if you're listening to other recordings of this tune, and you certainly should, particularly the Bothy Band, that's where I learned it from. Pretty much everybody I know learned it from. They kind of have the classic recording of it. You'll hear the fiddle and everything drop down below the octave. So keep that in mind. So here's what we're going to do with this one. We'll start just the basic melody. First half of the A part. Second half here. We'll play the whole thing all the way through again. And the second section jumps up to the high A. And so I'll start with that one. And in the second half. And again, I'll run the whole B part all the way through. third part, the C part, is kind of repetitive. It stays on the same few notes here, starting on the E, the second octave E. And the second half of the C part. Hopefully you heard that last section there is a repeat of what we did in the previous part. That tends to happen a lot. So I'll play the whole C part all the way through again. Now the D part is probably the weirdest of the bunch because it switches. It's basically a series of arpeggios of an A major chord and then a G chord. So here's this one. And the second half is kind of a repeat of what we've just been doing. Again, all the way through. So now as far as ornaments go, we'll kind of go through each of the parts. Because you're doing the low octave, or you're faking the low octave, in addition to ornaments, I try to keep it at a lower volume because it would be, an octave below. So I try not to accent the fact that we're jumping, but because you do start on the A. So in that case, we're going to do a roll, or what I like to play as a roll. So you got a couple of options there. Now, I do use a lot of triplets in this tune. We'll kind of get to that as we go on here, but I do that in the A part as well. That line, that comes up a lot in the tune, and I like to use that G sharp key just because it kind of gives it the effect of a slide without actually having to do that. So you can use that to your advantage if you have the keys. If not, a slide works, and certainly don't have to do it. So that's kind of what I like to do on the A part. The B part, because it's a big jump, I usually kind of do a bit of a triplet or a roll up to it. So you're kind of doing, and then another roll on the G as well. And then a short roll to finish it up. Now on the C part, there's a lot of options that I like to do because it's a bit repetitive. So what I like to do, kind of sit on that D, do a triplet to it, or you can do a bit of a variation. And because the flute is what it is, you have the breath control, the breath ornament that you can do, and you can really use that to accent it. So something like this. You can really kind of make it bark. Now in this one I do, that lick, that part of the C part and also in the D part, I do use a lot of triplets there. Something like that. Now, because the D part is a bit odd, you have a lot of room for triplets. I tend to put a lot of them in there, particularly on that G chord. So again, the basic melody. So what I like to do, and then then to finish it up, I kind of do the same type of thing. Again with the triplets. So that's what I like to do with it. There's a lot of room for variation, for ornaments, so play around with it, and by all means, find other versions of that tune. It's recorded by just about everybody because it's a great tune. It's a great session tune, a great tune that people have recorded for the past 40 years or so. It's a real popular one, and it's still played a lot. It hasn't been worn out, at least I hope not anyway, because I like playing it. So check that one out. If you have any questions, definitely let me know, and I'll see you guys on the next one. Thanks very much. Bye-bye.